Hi. It has been quite some time since I talked to you, and I want you to not take that too personal. I've had a lot on my mind, and I have a lot going on. And you know, these podcasts are supposed to share all of that, a lot going on with you, but I don't know what my issue is. I think that I'm kind of a perfectionist. I am a hoarder. So I will hoard all this information, all this video, and in my mind I think, oh, as I'm recording it, I'm gonna do this with this. This piece, that's gonna go great right there, and this is gonna make such a great bit, and then I start working on the next video, and then the next one, and then I have a trading project, and then I have something else, and then I end up having to babysit a dog. And then I'm planning a trip back to the USA. And hey, I'm coming back from Germany. And hey, I'm editing the show. And then pretty soon I get so wrapped up in everyday life that the purpose of this whole trip kind of loses a little focus. The whole idea of me taking this amazing journey is simplifying my life into travel, experience, share. Travel, experience, share. And I'm traveling, I'm having experiences, I'm gathering video, but I'm just not sharing it. And I was watching one of the podcasts I did, and it was like 3 months ago. My YouTube was like 3 months ago. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this because, to be honest, in my mind, if I visualize the best possible circumstance is I'm moving through this world, I'm gathering the video, and I'm putting it out in little bursts and bigger bursts. I'm figuring, I love to write, so I know that I want to do a blog. I like to take some pictures, and that's a really quick way to get people in. Video is amazing, but for every minute of video I take, there's hours into development and post-production. and then there's the idea of audio podcasts, which I'm finding really interesting. The idea of recording sounds and stories and incorporating those into rich storylines that you can put out as well. And I don't know exactly how to manage it all. Because if I don't, I lose momentum. If I lose momentum, I lose you guys, because you guys aren't going to find it interesting 2 months later or whatever. I mean, let me give you a little update. On the last podcast that I showed you, I was flying to Germany, and it was pretty awesome. You know, it was my first time to Germany, and it was my first time to Europe. And being there for a video project as well was really cool because it gave me purpose to travel, and I was working for a customer here in China to produce these videos based on firefighting, and I went to this company, JaYoe, and actually I went to 2 different companies, and the first company was a bit of a fiasco, but the second one was really amazing, and I met these German guys, and you know what? I actually set up my camera, and I did it all by myself. I literally filmed myself hosting my own show for the customer, obviously, and so I'm moving this rig around that has the audio, has the video. I'm looking at myself, and I'm playing with everything. It was one of the first times that I actually professionally did my own project. It was pretty cool. Anyways, I was sitting by a river, and it kind of hit me. I was like, wow, this might come out pretty nice, and I was kind of excited about it.
Hey, this is a bit off the cuff. I'm in a city called Jostadt in East Germany, and I'm doing a video project. This is my first time to Europe, and it's my first time actually shooting a show completely on my own. I literally have the audio, I'm staring at myself in a video monitor, and I have my camera. And this is part of my first trip to Europe, so I'm seeing all these amazing things, and I'm doing this project all by myself. It's really exciting. I'm like actually in a little river. I set this shot up because this is the opening shot of my show, and the show is about pumps, water pumps, so I figured if I did it down here. Behind me you could see the factory complex, Jostadt, and I'm learning some interesting things. You know, language is amazing. I never realized how amazing it was until I'm driving with this guy who's becoming a friend. His name's Paul. He's a representative from these companies that's helping me find my way around. But he is he's a gentleman with a fairly extensive library of languages. He speaks a little Dutch, German, English, French, Spanish. He doesn't speak any Chinese, so I got him there. But it's kind of exciting. We're driving around, he's picking up calls, and he's talking in a different language every time. And he's a bit of a character. He's a lot of a character, which makes it even more interesting. If he was a dull bookworm that studies language all his life, then maybe that would make more sense. But he doesn't. He's just like a crazy guy that does some amazing things and lives a life. In my words, I think he lives a real JaYoe lifestyle. He's in his 50s, and he just enjoys getting out and doing what he wants to do, and he doesn't let the world dictate what he should be doing. Anyways, it's about 4 degrees below zero, and we're up at 1,000 meters, I guess, and I set my first foot on another country in Europe. So I've been to Germany, and then actually, if you could see right across here, it's the Czech Republic. And I took a couple of steps over into the Czech Republic. I'm kind of ignorant American. I didn't realize how easy it was. Literally, I can walk across. I can travel all over Europe. I'm a little bit kind of used to the demand of getting visas for Asia, because I've been all through Southeast Asia, and it's really difficult to travel around there. But here, it's super easy. Anyways, today I am wrapping up. Actually, today and tomorrow I'll wrap up the videos, and then I'll go to Prague, and I'll see some of Prague. I hear it's beautiful. And then from Prague I can go to Munich. I'll spend some days there, and then go to Frankfurt, and then meet with HP Velotechnik and talk about the bike. So I'm really excited about that. I'm traveling around Europe, and I'm super geeked because America has history, but it's very short. It's a few hundred years. China has history, but it's very ancient, or it's very recent. The middle era with Mao kind of muddled it up, and so you don't see a lot of the 40s or the 20s or the 30s kind of history. But here, Germany, incredible things were happening in that time, and you can see it everywhere, especially here in Germany. I mean, the city, you can see where it was leveled and rebuilt, and you can also see where it has survived, but barely. Temples and structures are up that have bullet holes in them. Lots of them. Lots of bullet holes. I think that's amazing. I mean, it's like a window into the past. I stare at those bullet holes and I can hear the sounds, you know, the ricochet. I can feel the heat of the carnage. I can feel the shrapnel chipping away at the walls. It's vivid. I didn't think it would be so vivid. Yeah, the wind sound is perfectly tuned to what I feel, but it's not so bad. It's like a dry cold. Anyways, I thought I'd just kind of sidetrack because I did the opening shot. And I thought that the aperture was really nice and the colors were good, so I figured, hey, why don't I talk to you guys a little bit? Anyways, so I'm excited. I got a couple of German experiences under my belt. It's definitely a place I think is nice, and it's perfect time to go. You know, during the holiday is crazy. Every single major city here has a holiday market, like an extensive holiday market, with brats being cooked and people just enjoying and bundled up, carrying their kids around and giving them candy and treats and all sorts of stuff. So anyways, I better get back to work. So we'll talk to you later. JaYoe. Yeah, that wasn't good. JaYoe!
So there you have it. I mean, you know, I was enjoying myself, and the company that I had there, the guy Paul, he was amazing, and he drove me all around, and then I got to travel a little bit, and then I went to the JaYoe part of this journey, which was meeting with the company HP Velotechnik. And HP and I had a really nice meeting. I talked with the director of marketing first, and then I talked to the big guys in charge. I got to test ride a couple of the Trikes that I hope to ride around the world. I stated my case to them. And my case was this. It was, I want to take video. I want to ride around the world. And I want to do it in a way that's comfortable for me to take video and is also comfortable for me on the long road ahead. And that's human-powered. And I said their trike is durable, has full suspension. It's the top of the line, and it's got all the bells and whistles that I need in order to make this a possibility. And every time that I produce a video, their trike is going to take center stage. So anytime that I ride, anytime that I'm moving, anytime, which is almost all the time from here to there, I'm going to be using their product. And it would just makes sense if they partnered up with me in my journey, and let me make sure. It would just make sense if we worked together and then did this as a team. And they were a little apprehensive, a little bit, but not so much. Obviously, they never met me, and I tried to make it clear that I wasn't just kind of coming in to get a free product. I wanted somebody to help me with my trip, but I also somebody that I could help as well. And so long story short, they're going to provide me with one of the best trikes in their line called the Scorpion. It's fully suspended, meaning it's got suspension on the two front wheels and as well as the rear. They're going to fix it up so that I can use it on the trip, as in all the baggage that's connected to the bike, a trike. And that was the other thing. Now, I've been saying bike, bike, bike. And in English, bi is two, so bike. And then tri is three, and is trike. So when I sat down with them, my mind was so fixated on the word bike because, you know, in my vernacular, bike is what I've been riding since I was younger. This trike idea is fairly new. So I coached myself before I met them, and I said, oh, make sure you don't say trike. Make sure you don't say, bike. Make sure you don't say bike. Make sure you don't say bike. And then I sat down, and I'm like, I'm really interested in using your bike on my trip. And I looked at them. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, guys. And they said, what are you talking about? And I said, well, you know, I've been trying to get away from saying the word bike because your product is a three-wheeled cycle or a trike. Personally, I don't really like the name trike. I think it sounds like a big wheel, but if I could call it a three-wheel cycle, that might be a little bit more. But maybe I can help define trike a little bit and make it a little bit more accommodating to this generation. Anyways, in in German, there is no buy or try. It's simply cycle. So 3-wheel, 2-wheel, 1-wheel, it's all the same in basic terms. So when I said bike, they didn't even realize. They didn't even care, because in their mind, bike, trike, these are English terms, and we're a German company. So it worked out well. Anyways, long story short, they decided to provide me with a trike, and they're going to load it up under some conditions. Some I'll tell you, some are, some paperwork issues, but the really cool condition is they want me to go back to their company in Germany in May and build my trike in the factory. So I will have hands-on experience putting this thing together, which is awesome, because it's actually, you're going to have to come here and put it together. Okay. They were, it was kind of something I suggested. It was also something that they suggested, and it was a perfect marriage, because I want to make sure that I'm hands-on with the vehicle that I'm riding around the world. And to go to Germany and build my own vehicle that's going to carry me around the world for 5 years, man, I couldn't ask for something better than that. So in May, they asked me to go out there and build the trike and take it for a ride. I'm actually going to ride, I've got to figure out exactly where, but I'm going to take a long ride on it across Europe and test it out. And the destination on this test is to meet a gentleman that is going to he's one of the big gurus in the trike community, and he's going to take me, he's going to talk to me a little bit and give me some tips that I can use on the road. And then I'm going to turn around and head back to HP. And when I get to HP, they're going to tell me, how did it go? I'm going to say, this needs to be this way, and maybe I need a cup holder here, maybe I need a little bit of adjustment here, and they're going to tweak it according to what I need. That's awesome. I mean, that's a really, really awesome thing to have them offer this to me, because once I take it apart and ship it to China and put it back together, I'm going to have no chance to go back to HP. And so to be able to work any bugs out for my special circumstance, it's really, really, really amazing. So we talked about some certain contractual details, but long story short, as long as I'm committed to the journey, they're committed to me, and they're committed to me through helping me on the road if the trike has any problems, giving me some after-service help, and providing me some stability in having a relationship with somebody that really is really important to this trip. I don't think cameras are important. The gear is important, but the vehicle is really, really important. So anyways, the trip to Germany was awesome. I got to see some amazing things. Germany. And then I went to Prague in the Czech Republic, and I visited a friend, Melanie, who used to live in Ningbo, and she's a German, and she's a good friend. And then I came back, and there's so much to do. And there's so many important things that I need to get done, and I'm a little overwhelmed. I have this opportunity. I have this office. If you could see this office that I live in, it was designed by me. Annie, my business partner and my friend and everything, she constructed this office according to my ideas, and so this office is an environment that is basically for me to use until I leave. And then when I leave, I'm going to go from 3 screens to 1 laptop. I'm going to go from a huge keyboard to a laptop keyboard. I'm going to go from this desk space to to the road. You know what I mean? You know, traveling around Germany and Europe is ideal for this trip around the world. I mean, it seems very friendly to cyclists. I've been traveling a lot in the last couple of months, and a few of the places I went again to the Maldives. That's a story in itself, and I actually did a video. I built an episode of JaYoe, like a JaYoe video series about places that I visit, and I have to edit that.
Wow. I am on an island called Malihi in the Maldives. I never thought I could say that, but I'm here, and this place is amazing. I've seen some really amazing things. I've been able to check a couple of things off my bucket list even. You might think that the Maldives is inaccessible. It might be a place only the extreme wealthy can afford to travel to. But I've met some people that have been able to call the Maldives home, and they're just normal people with a little bit excess JaYoe spirit. So join me as I take my holiday here in the Maldives, and you can take it along with me. Let's go. JaYoe!
I have to edit that, and I got to back edit all the way back to 2009. I've got instances and things, and I've got the JaYoe website, which is coming along, and I've got some really innovative stuff coming up there. And gosh, I'm very overwhelmed. I've got people that I want to talk to. I've got people I want to introduce you to. My friend Sylvie and Nick, they just got back from an amazing journey, and in Norway, I think. Some island in the north, almost near the North Pole. These people are amazing. They're part of the reason that I'm so inspired to do what I'm doing right now, and I'm just not getting it done. Anyways, it's stressful. And I'm not sure exactly how to deliver this information to you guys to make it something that's interesting. I mean, I don't know what you want to hear. I don't want to talk too much about myself. I want to include information about the places I visit as well as the people I visit. But I guess it's really important for you to get the background in what I'm doing so that you understand, you know, what this whole trip means to me, and so that you can understand the trip as a whole. Let's see here. Let me go through some videos I've went through recently. When I rode that trike, I went downhill on that thing. It's fast. Well, the only way you can do that for real is to get one of these steps, set up a tripod, set it up level, and then ride past it. Yeah. You know, then you can kind of get some of that. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah.
Ready?
Ready.
Good. Are you on the front?
Sure. Okay. I'm fine. It was a little bit freaky. Oh my gosh. I spent Christmas in Japan. You guys don't even know that. I went to, I did a lot of traveling recently. After Germany, I went from Germany to Japan. And in Japan, it was part of an invitation with my friend Ryan, my best friend, the guy that was supposed to do this trip with me, but things didn't work out. My fault. I'll take the blame for that one. But anyways, he came to Ningbo and saw me in Ningbo. Annie actually got as a gift for me, really amazing. And then in return, I went and stayed with him in Japan, and it was over Christmas. So I dressed up like Santa Claus, like I do every year, and I walked the streets of Japan. It was kind of interesting.
Okay, so I'm a little tired because I ran to a subway car that Ryan had chosen for us to go to Roppongi, and I have been drinking with a bunch of Queenslanders, and I'm in the subway car waving to people. Merry Christmas! And hopefully Roppongi will make this night even better. What do you think, Rock?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Rock on.
Yeah, you know, the weird thing in Japan is that it's same as China in a lot of ways. The people look the same, and you know, they're a tight-knit community, you know. But Chinese are much louder than Japanese. Japanese are so shy and reserved. And if I was standing on a train as Santa Claus in China, I would be mobbed and pulled and taking pictures with kids, holding kids, and people would be throwing their faces into my shoulder and snapping their picture on their phone. But in Japan, it was a little bit more of a challenge. It was fun, you know, but it was still a little bit more of a challenge. Scrolling through the pictures. After that, I left and I came back to Ningbo, and then instantly I bounced out and I went to the Maldives. And I was walking the streets in Mali, which is the capital of the Maldives, and it was a little nerve-wracking. Tiny street. The whole country is a small island, very small island. Can walk from one side to the other in like less than an hour. Walk. Less than a half hour, probably. But there were so many people, and they were packed in, and they were different, you know. They were looking at me because I was the only white guy on the street, you know. And it was one of the first times I felt a little apprehensive and a little worried. Like, I was thinking one day, I'm going to run down a street like this, and I'm going to have to deal with people who may be poor, who may be desperate, who may be frustrated with their own circumstances, and I look at this white guy riding down the street in this contraption with a boatload of gear, and it just got me a little nervous. I'll tell you what, I've been living a life a lot different in the last year, 2 years, than when I originally thought about this journey. When I originally thought about this journey, I had my toe in the water. I was accustomed to rogue, I call it rogue traveling, which means kind of just going at it. With Ryan, me and him, we would travel and just backpack it and dirty and whatever. And I felt comfortable there. But since Ryan moved away and I've been traveling more 5-star, staying in amazing hotels, having the top shelf kind of, I've been traveling like a tourist and not like a traveler, you know? I feel like those are two definitions. You can be a tourist or you can be a traveler. And I've certainly been more of a tourist recently than a rogue traveler. And it's like I've become a little accustomed to it, and not that I'm looking back at all. It's just I've got to get myself back in the zone. I've got to get that feeling again of rogue, because I'm out of my comfort zone a little bit when I think about it. And I used to be in my comfort zone when I thought about it, you know? Looking at that straight in Mali gave me the Heebie-Jeebies, and it shouldn't. It should give me a feeling of, wow, I wonder who I'm going to meet here, or I wonder what kind of group I'll have at this time, or, I wonder what kind of food I'm going to eat, all these things, instead of worry. And I know that that's going to kind of ease its way through as I start the journey. But right now, it's kind of like, I don't know, a little bit frustrating. I don't like that I'm feeling this way, and I have to change it. I also don't like that I'm looking this way. I've been living this 5-star life and living in an office, and not hitting the road like I used to, and my body is showing for it, and I'm just not satisfied. Anyways, so far I have been traveling a lot, and I'm about to go traveling again in 2 days. In 2 days, I am going to go back to the USA for 20 days with Annie. She's going to get to see the USA a little bit more. I'm going to get to meet my family and do some wrapping up. I bought a bunch of gear, some more cameras, and things that are going to be useful on the journey. I'm taking all of the data, all of the videos that I've taken. I've got about 8 terabytes. I'm taking it back to the USA and leaving it in a safe, secure location where if I need it later, or say I lose the stuff here, I have a backup. So I'm making a copy of everything, every video I have, and leaving it over on that side. I'm kind of working some things with some clients. I do some trading, which provides me a limited amount of funds that is hopefully going to support this trip a little bit. And I want to make sure that those relationships are passed off or figured in to the journey. And so I got to meet with some of my clients in the USA. Okay, so that's pretty much caught up. Anyway, so this is what I'm doing for catching up. There's so much information. There's so many videos. I'm not exactly sure how to do it. I'm trying to think about what is going to set me apart as far as what I produce when I'm on the road. It has to be something fairly easy, something that I can turn over, something that I can do and throw up on a blog, so that what I really want is I want to reach out to everybody that's interested in the journey and get them to understand what I'm seeing, why I'm seeing it, why I feel it, and my motivations, you know what I mean? And I love traveling. I love seeing all these people, and I'm doing this really, really amazing journey, and it's got so many moving parts, literally and figuratively moving parts. And I just want to make sure that what I put out is a quality. It maybe doesn't have to be the highest caliber of cinematic quality, but it has to be something interesting. It has to be able to let people know, wow, what is JaYoe up to? What is this journey doing now? I want to see the next one. I want to be involved. And I'm not sure if I should just focus on big videos, if I should focus on podcasting, if instead of these video podcasts, I only do audio podcasts, which are easier to produce. And then, all I got to do is get a recorder. And then I can just work in the video on a bigger ends, like episodic. Once every 2 weeks, once a month, produce an episode. I mean, I was looking through the backlog of videos I have, and there's some really amazing stories I started writing down. I'm like, when Ryan and I went to Shaoxing, and then we got so drunk that afterwards I had to go the next morning and do a 7-kilometer swim across Shangshan Strait. So me and Ryan, we partied it up in Shaoxing, drinking this thing called Huangzhou, which is like yellow rice wine. It was horrible. I had never thrown up so much that night, and the hostel was pitch black. Well, I guess the audio stopped. That means I should probably wrap this up. I'll save some of those stories for next time. Maybe I'll infuse some video in these podcasts to make them a little bit more interesting, like I did with some of this Germany footage. But there's so many experiences, so many things that I've done, and I want to produce them in a way that's not like like a guy's vacation video. It has to be relatable to the world, and I'm finding that really difficult. I can't. I'm blank paging it, and I've been blank paging it for a few months, and it's really, 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 really freaking frustrating. Damn. Anyways, I'll be going to the USA in a little while. I'll try and produce again one of these when I get to the US, and because I'll be bringing all my video with me. Anyways, hey everybody out there, thanks for listening, and we'll see what comes up next. JaYoe. Hey, I'm developing a website. This thing is going to come out really awesome. I'm trying to make it so that you guys can follow me as I go around the world and also see what my intended plan is. So as I travel around the world, I'll be updating this path that's already going around the world. And as I move, I'll nudge points up and down and throw in videos and throw in pictures and update things. So kind of like that mall diagram, or that IKEA diagram. As you follow through IKEA, you collect things along the way, and then you are here, and you're going here, and this is what I think I'm going to do here. This is what I have done there, and as I move here, it changes from what I think I'm going to do to what I actually do. And I've incorporated some developers in Denmark, and so far they're doing some really innovative stuff, and I'm so excited to show you guys. But I don't want to prematurely blow my load here because I don't want to show you something that's incomplete. So I'm biting my lip until it comes to a point to where there's enough content on the website that'll keep you interested, it'll keep you busy. But trust me, there's some really amazing things coming up. So keep in touch. And JaYoe again.